These men are battle-ready and daily on the lookout for insurgents in Nigeria's northeastern state of Borno. For many of them, their lives are defined on the front lines, and an engagement with insurgents is a daily reality. However, in recent times, there are claims that corruption is affecting the morale of these battle-hard Nigerian soldiers.
A few years ago, about 8 military officers were convicted for selling arms to militants in the Niger Delta. To the army, this was a clear statement telling the whole world that the Nigerian armed forces will not condone corruption in any form. But to critics of the armed forces, this was vindication and proof that corruption exists in the Nigerian army. In the last few months, the Nigerian military has engaged insurgents in the northeast. Once again, the issue of corruption has been raised. But the big question every Nigerian is asking, does corruption exist in the Nigerian military?
Every year, so much money has been budgeted. In fact, as of this point in time, we spent over 1 trillion naira to fight essentially the insurgency. What has happened to all that money? Because you don't see it in, one, the performance of the soldiers. You don't see it also in the kind of equipment that the soldiers are using, which shows that something is wrong. So it is not true to say that there is no corruption. There is corruption.
With all my years of service, I never, saw such a thing happen. I've commanded military formations while in service, and it is not just possible. When allocations are made, we are monitored. The expenditure pattern is monitored. There are project monitoring committees that go around, and issues of corruption are not taken kindly at all in the armed forces.
While the argument on whether corruption exists or not, there are some Nigerians that believe it is already having an effect on the morale of soldiers.
The first line of casualty are the soldiers themselves, and that is why there's a lot of dispiritedness within the soldiers because of the high rate of casualties. Okay? Then, of course, the larger society is affected. You can see how the state of insecurity has grown, and it is looking like this military that had a reputation of going outside and performing very well cannot perform at home. And that is a huge irony because it's unfortunate that you can go outside and perform, but at home where you are needed more than ever before, you can't even perform, which now means that we are all at risk.
However, there are others who think otherwise.
When you talk about morale, there are so many things involved. One, the training of the soldier itself is part of it. He has to be appropriately trained. He has to be well equipped. His welfare has to be adequately taken care of, and so on. All this add up to issues of boosting the morale of soldiers. Yes, when you see, no soldier will be happy to see the kind of things that we're seeing now in the country. Nobody, just as you and I, you are not happy about it, soldiers are equally not happy about it.
With the battle against insurgents ongoing and far from over, Nigerians are hoping the issue of corruption will not deter the performance of soldiers on the front line so that they can fulfill their mandate, which is to protect the territorial integrity of the nation. Reporting from Abuja, Amadin Uyi, STV News.